Boom.
Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. I'm forever in your debt for the advice I didn't take. Just keep it real. I'm letting God decide my fate. Trying to play the field, I'm just trying to jump the kiss case. I'm all over the kicks and the piss takes. Keen to fish out all the shit and all the mistakes. Kinda keen to follow up and rid of all these bitch snakes. Listen.
Yes. What's good, everybody? You know what time it is. That was genuinely an accidental preview, but it's staying in. Wasn't fully accidental. I pressed record. Sometimes I've got like dual commands on this computer, so when I press play, it'll do certain things. So space sets this off recording, but space also sets off my Ableton session that then played the track. So I thought I'd just rock it out, dance it out with each and every which one of you. But what's good, everybody? That's not what we're here for, but you got a random sneak peek. Could be the best thing I've ever wrote, could be the worst thing I've ever wrote. We never know till early morning. But you know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. Quick ship vid. We had to move back to get his greatness in. Shout out to all my members, shout out to all subscribers, shout out to each and every which one here. Is our waveform seriously a problem? So I spoke about it a little bit yesterday, just obviously in the post-match. I'm thinking it's less of an issue than we're letting on. I think in a few games' time, once we've got a couple of wins under his belt, everybody's banging on about, you know, Burnley's away form's better than us and stuff, but Burnley are behind us in the league. Ultimately, you can look at the away form and look at but you know, and then nobody's looking at the home form. The home form's allegedly saving us at the moment, but that's just our form. That's just the form of the season, isn't it? We're second in the league because of our home and away form. You can't be second in the league. You know, you can be second in the league if your away form's poor, because ours is relatively poor, but that's the reason why we're second in the league. Does it really matter whether the home form is excellent and the away form's slightly off of it? You know, the away form isn't as good as the home form, evidently. We can all see that. But I don't think it's as big an issue as we're letting on. I think by New Year, I think it'll probably be squashed and forgotten about, and then they'll be on to the next moody thing that everybody's on about. I just want to briefly go over Firpo's contract. So I was rushing back to watch game on Saturday. I was listening to Leeds radio, and they were all banging on about Firpo's contract and how like it's horrendous business, really bad business that we're letting his contract run down, and we're running out and we're losing money on him and all this stuff. It's a double-edged sword, this. I actually really believe that the 49ers, whatever you think of them, people are into it for some reason, but you know, they know how to run the club, or they know how to run business. I think it's really patronising to suggest that they're letting Firpo run his contract down. Like it's a mistake among the club. So we don't know how much Firpo actually wants. You don't know what his intentions are. They were saying on the radio, like, you know, get him to sign a contract and then sell him. Well, it's like, who wants him for money? Do you know what I mean? How much money? Would it be worth paying him out of the contract? There's plenty of clauses where they're not going to go, oh yeah, Firpo, do us a favour, sign a contract, and then we're going to sell you. And then he'll go, and then be like, all right, yeah, that works. At the moment, he's got the pick of wherever he wants to go, more or less. You know, obviously, not Barcelona aren't going to want him back. But he's got the pick of, he'll have a pick of quite a few clubs that can take him on a free and are worth the gamble on a free. But they're not going to want to spend 15 million on him. We got him 15 million. We've had him for 3 or 4 seasons. If it's 3 seasons, that's £5 million spent a season. He's depreciating. He's getting older. If you bought Firpo 3 times for 5 million and he performed how he has in the Championship, I don't think that'd be a bad signing. So I don't really think the money matters as much as the money obviously matters. You can't just waste money. But I think the 49ers know that, you know, if he was valued at 25-30 million, they'd have got him hunched into this contract, wouldn't they? They're not getting ripped off. They bought Tanaka cheap, well, extremely cheap, and he looks a proper player and stuff. They've been really quite good with the money. They know what they're doing. So this idea that it's like terrible business and that we've really dropped the ball, I don't buy into it. It's the same thing with Meslier, Silent S. There's certain players that he's the best keeper at the club at the moment, and I think he'll be with us in the Prem next year. I've just looked at his value, and it's only online, but it's steadied out. So it's been up to 25 million, and it's been as low as like 16. It's about 20 million, 18 million at the moment. That's only on transfer market, but you know they do have, you know, they're taking into account all these statistics and all this stuff. Some of his shot stopping, you know, it's the same old thing. It's like it's also really hard to be a keeper like Meslier Silent S when we are not facing any shots. Because obviously one shot, one goal doesn't look good, and it's even worse for him. Whereas if, there's keepers that played at an extremely high level, Ben Foster, Tim Howard, keepers that didn't do a great deal. Tim Howard were terrible at Man United, then went to Everton and he were excellent, wasn't he? He's a lot more involved in the game. He's saving a lot more shots. He's having to actually keep himself occupied. Whereas at Man United, it's like, 89th minute, a shot comes in and he's fumbling it into net. Do you know what I mean? He's got bored or he's lost concentration. And to be fair, that's what the top keepers do. Ederson, Alisson, that massive fella that plays for PSG, Donatello, whatever he's called, that huge guy, even though he's got some absolute stinkers, some howlers. Neuer, the top Courtois, the top keepers just pull out a big save 72 minutes in when it's 0-0 in a big game. Now, granted, Meslier Silent S didn't do that the other day, but he's also had some pretty good moments. He played well in the game before last, I can't even remember who it was, but he made a couple of big saves when he came running out. I think that were at 1-1, that was the Middlesbrough game, when he came running out, made a big tackle in the box. It's risky stuff. Obviously there's the Sunderland howler, but I think longevity-wise, money-wise, it's far better to keep Meslier Silent S in. We will get promoted with Meslier Silent S. We got promoted with him before. We'll get promoted with him again. His stock will stay the same. If we then move him on, we won't move him on next year, though. I really don't believe that. I think he'll have a year in the Prem, and then we'll look at it. I mean, it's also a very expensive position to fill, and who do you get? Also, the idea that you just get rid of Meslier Silent S is mental to me. It's like, why does it have to be, rather than just going, maybe, why ain't everybody on Twitter saying, maybe let's drop him, let's think about dropping him. Nobody thinks that. It's always like, get him out the door as soon as possible. Like, he doesn't have to leave the club. He's not kicking out a stink. It's not infective, this mistake. He's not going around injecting everybody with mistakes. It's, I don't know, madness. But yeah, what do you think on Firpo? Because obviously I'm no financial expert and I couldn't really care less, but I just don't think the club are getting ripped off. 5 million a year if he's been here 3 years for a decent left back, been really good for us in Championship. He's also injured in January and he can't leave in January. They won't sell him in January. Nobody's going to buy him when they can get him on a free. What he can do is sign a new contract for a different club in January, but he has to see our contract out. He can't just leave. And also, there's a charity fight to be held with, and it's not for charity, it's blood, guts and bluster. There's no fucking about. We're only Leeds bros. I'll take them both on it same night. There's not a man born from his mother that can't beat me up, because every man from his mother can beat me up. But I'll go down screaming and shouting and trying my damn hardest, so watch your back, boys.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey! I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises.